Hey everybody, it's Pep and you're watching the Sentinel channel. I was tossing up whether to do this review, and I decided to do it because I felt like I needed to, so to speak, strike while the iron was hot, because I was given a small sample of a perfume from a friend of mine, and it's a small sample of Under My Skin from Francesca Bianchi. I believe it's an extrait de parfum concentration. I know that Sebastian on Smelling Great Fragrances did a review on this with Lola from Lola Scents, and that review got me intrigued, and as I said, I was lucky enough to be sent a small sample of Under My Skin. My first impressions of this have pretty much stayed the same with subsequent wearings of this fragrance, and I'm going to start off this review by saying that obviously perfumes and how we react to them are very subjective, and you can find out things about what inspired the perfumer, what the brief was for that perfumer, what they wanted to create, and get cues from that. Now, I know this is described as an animalic perfume, so I'm going to talk about how it wears on my skin and how I've reacted to it. So I've been wearing this for several nights in a row. It has been warm here in Melbourne. We are still in the middle of summer, so this review is going to be based on me wearing it several days in a row. Mainly in the evenings, and it's been warm, so I don't know how this behaves in cold weather. You know, I've worn it in the evenings, I've gone to bed with it, and I've really just wanted to kind of spend time with it and get to know it. But like I said, my very first wearing, my impressions of that time really haven't changed that much. So I'm going to spray the opening and describe it, and really what I'm going to try and do here is not so much try and break down the notes and what I'm smelling, but really I guess what it's reminding me of. Now, straight away I'm getting a I guess generally would be described as a leather accord. Now this is not so much leather as leather before it becomes leather, i.e. human skin is what I'm smelling here, and this is the only way I can describe this is the human skin of real intimacy. It's the smell that you really mainly only ever get an opportunity to smell when you have a time of intimacy with another person, with another human being. And you can smell the beautiful, sweet, salty muskiness of skin in places that only being close enough to another person you can smell. And this is what the opening basically reminds me of. It is a wonderful accord and completely wearable. Okay, so I do not find this challenging at all. What happens as this scent develops? It develops into a more, I guess, for me, familiar perfume accord. Okay, so what I mean by that is you open up with this gorgeous carnal, musky skin scent that only for me reminds me only of one thing, and as the scent develops, the more and more it wears on your skin, it becomes more familiar, more assuaged, smothered in a gorgeous iris butter, and the way it transitions, it makes me think it's still the same idea. So I'm still thinking sensuality, intimacy, human skin, human touch, and it's like that first interaction you have with your lover, and that first new smell, the new sensations you get. Everything is fresh and new and exciting and lustful. And as this scent develops, it almost becomes something that is no less intimate, but something that is the smell of something you're very familiar with. So skin with maybe some makeup or lipstick, represented by the iris. And we're not talking about that lipsticky iris you might get in a Dior Homme kind of perfume. Everything in this fragrance is beautifully blended and balanced, but what it does is it every element almost lacks a bit of refinement, and that's a good thing in this fragrance, because this fragrance to me is a wonderful reflection of being human, of all the imperfections of your human body and what makes someone attractive to somebody else. It's just a wonderful fragrance. Animalic, if we consider humans to be animals, this is animalic, absolutely. I find nothing challenging about wearing this fragrance, but I will say this is a fragrance that you will wear for yourself. This projects, but this is not really for other people to smell. This is for you to enjoy yourself and make a connection to. So every time you do wear it, it has a special meaning for you. It makes you feel a certain way. Like I said, this is a subjective hobby. This is a subjective fragrances are subjective in their nature. This fragrance I have reacted this way to. Other people will react differently, because it's all about the mental and emotional connections you make with this. To get away a little bit from the emotional side of that, like I said, it starts off leathery. There is musks in there. It develops again into this wonderful, beautiful suede with this mossy iris butter, mixed with ambergris to add that little bit of saltiness to everything. And this has very good performance. I actually went to bed with it, slept with it on the back of my hand and my arms, and woke up the next morning. So like we're talking 8 to 10 hours, even 11 hours later, it was still very noticeable on my skin. Again, that might change if you're wearing it during the day and it's warm and it burns off the skin, but there's nothing wrong with the performance. The projection is just right on this fragrance, because like I said, this is not something that you want to fill a room with, and it's not because it will offend people. This is just something you want to keep in your own personal space, and if you're inviting anyone into that personal space, it's basically the smell of someone's skin on your skin. And I haven't smelled anything quite like this yet. If there is anything like this, I've smelled lots of leather. Leather is one of my favorite notes, chords in fragrance, but this is something different altogether, and I really admire what Francesca Bianchi has done here with this fragrance. This is, I think, available in a 30ml bottle, Extrait de Parfum. I've only seen it available on the website. I'm sure it's available in other places, but I'll leave a link to the website and to Sebastian's review on this. To me, this is a gorgeous fragrance. Thank you, Anna, for sending me the sample. and that was Under My Skin by Francesca Bianchi. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you soon.